Hey, it's 8:07. It's Wednesday. Let's get started. Welcome back. I am looking over my little agenda paper to see what we're doing. I have all my copies of things I have not done and of things I plan to do today. I thought I was up to date with all my printing, but I did forget to print out my papers for sour grapes. So today, let me see, we are going to do problem solution for sour grapes. That's our interactive read out loud today, or this week. So I'm gonna look at that, and then I'm gonna get and see if there's any papers for there for sour grapes. So we listened to it on YouTube. Just listened to it. That was Monday. Yesterday, I reread it to the class. Today, I think we're going to picture walk. So I'm just going to show them the pictures, and I'm going to ask friends what's happening on each page so they can retell the story using the pictures. And then that way we have a quick reminder, and then we'll work on problem solution. That's going to be my plan for sour grapes. This is the interactive read out loud I use, so sour grapes. This is the lesson part. So in here it has all the papers that you need to make your posters and everything, and then it has lesson pages. Those are the standards we cover, or they covered inside the packet, and then I'm gonna print out the lesson. So I already did our story elements and retell. It's on my chart. We'll do the character change on Friday. Cause and effect we will do tomorrow, and then I am planning on doing probably the author's message also. They have extras, so the retell craft, we're not going to do that. We used our grateful paper and we made a craft using the sour grape, and then they have direct draws for your writing also. So this is what I use. There's a lovely teacher that made it. A new accessory, friend gave me a ring. I'm now the proud owner of a dinosaur ring. It's lunch. We're still working on math. I'm okay with it. I'm gonna have to pick it up later because it's taking a little bit too long. What did we do today? We did module 4, lesson 1. I showed them what Zern looked like. We did the guided practice part all together on the computer, and just so they can know what they're going to do. And then we did the lesson, and so they made the connection. Oh, like the computer. Yep, just like the computer. With them, I do the homework part, and then we do that together. I go over the few problems they give in the teacher guide, and then we do this together. And then at their seats, they do the they do the practice problems, the problem set. That's what they do in their seats. And so for Meet the Teacher, I do the problems that they give in the teacher's edition, and then I do the homework. And then at their seat, they do the problem set. Technology still is going to be ST Math, and then hands-on there's a container right there, activities that are review. And that's how we're doing. They're doing really well. I still have my one group where they're just lost because they just need a lot of this is where we go repetition, a lot of direction. And so they're my only friends that's like, okay, where are you? Where's your name? What does that say? And what does that mean? And then I point them to where they need to go. I have my doorbell that stops them. I have my clicker that I move from where we're sitting so I don't have to get up. So it's working. I moved from the carpet to the small table. I have one group that smushes there, but that's the only group. And so we'll keep going. When we come back, like I said, it's taking forever, but when I come back, we're going to do our cause and effect lesson from sour grapes. They give you during reading questions. And so today we're just going to do a picture walk, and then I'll stop at those pages, and then I'll ask the questions about cause and effect. I made my chart. Let me show you my chart. There's my chart for cause and effect. We've talked about cause and effect before. It's not really something we cover in first grade right now, but the more they know, the better. Cause and effect, we're going to do our writing for our story today, talking about how the map features help them when they are using a map. Yesterday's writing was just a fill in the blank. We did it all together. Next week, we're going to do it as part of their writing group. And so I'm showing them what they need to do. These are regular lines. I showed them that if they still need to do big, they can do double line and they can write it that way. And then after that, we're going to do our penguin again. I read it. I'm going to read it again tomorrow, read it again, and then we're going to fill this out. And we'll use this as our information for our informational text that we're going to write on penguins. That's what I have planned out. Oh, plus my sort. That's what I planned out. I have to make another card because I have a friend again that lost his card. This will be his third card in 2 days because someone keeps taking it. And I told him that's not the case. Like, you're not putting it where I told you to put it. You're taking it with you. So I'll do it again. Today he just has to read books. He couldn't use the iPad because he keeps losing his things. And so that's what I'm doing. It's after school. I'm going home. I have my copies for tomorrow. I pulled out my copies for tomorrow from my container. I have my pile of trash that I'm throwing away. I clean up daily after class, and we'll see what Thursday holds. Have fun and don't get in trouble. Hey, it's Thursday, Friday Junior. We made it just a little bit farther into the week. It's actually lunchtime. I came in and I made a couple of copies, and then I went to go speak to friends, look at new cars, talk about our Starbucks order tomorrow. So let's see what we've done so far on our Thursday. We came in, we started math right away. I did show them the other portion of Zern, so the power of tower. I showed them what happens if they get it wrong. And then we did the one of the fluency parts where it's just math facts. So we did that, and then we got into our math groups. Today we're doing lesson 2 of module 4. I started with module 6, but then after talking with my team, we decided to go with lower numbers so that way they can get used to how things were going to change, and then move on to the rest of the modules. The module I was going to do was bigger numbers, but they didn't think that it was going to be an easy transition if we went changing things and went into bigger numbers. I was all for it. But I'm doing lesson 2. Lesson 2, the kids flew by. I'm doing 15 minutes each group this week. Next week, I'll probably cut it down to 12 because for a lot of them, it's too much time. I do have the go catch up, you're finished, whatever's in your folder, but it's a constant letting them know. Go catch up, finish what's in your folder. So we'll see, maybe 12 minutes next time. For Zern, they do 30 minutes, 30 minutes. So I do know that they might not have enough time when they get to it to complete the missions in a section, but it'll always carry over. I just need to keep track. So that's what I'm going to work on this weekend, is a way to keep track of who's on what mission. I know Zern has it, but it's just a piece of paper that I want to do. I'll probably laminate it, and then that way I'll have it, and then I can erase it. And I also want to find something to keep track of their centers that they're turning in. I want them to at least finish 3 a week. I have 6 there, so if they finish 3 this week and then 3 next week, then that's perfect. So I'm planning on having 6 inside the box, and then that way I can switch them every 2 weeks. So that's what I'm going to work on. So I'm going to work on just a simple checkoff list for the centers and for the missions that they complete on Zern. I don't think it's called missions, but I'm just going to call them missions, the little lessons for each one. They should be able to finish, I'll say if we have 5 a week, I'm going to say they should be able to finish 3, 4, because maybe 3, because I'm not giving them the full dedicated time. They're getting like half because again, it's supposed to be 30 minutes, 30 minutes. And then they switch. I have 4 groups, so that's why it's 15 each group. But we'll see what changes come. I'm gonna look at the rest of my stuff. Coming at you at the end of the day. Here's one of the charts I made. Not our charts are beautiful. There are some of the other charts I made this week, just with our digraphs. Just glue things down. Kids, they don't care. The cutesy ones, cause and effect for sour grapes. Cause and effect was from the interactive read out loud. So was the retelling. And then we did this today of characters change. We try to do like a little direct draw of how to draw the sour grape. Not everything's going to be cute. Not everything's going to be Pinterest worthy. It just needs to get the job done. We finished our penguin informational writing graphic organizer. We'll use that tomorrow to write about penguins. And then we did a little bit more research on penguin life cycle. Tomorrow we have our digraph test. And so we'll go over words that have digraphs. We have a worksheet on our irregular nouns and our adding es to plural nouns or to nouns with the special endings. And then we have our sing-along. Math, we're going to do lesson 3. I've done the first 2 lessons of module 4. The 5 kids that I knew it was too much, too different for them, they're the ones that are struggling. I rearranged groups to put kids into different groupings because of how they did yesterday. I think I'm going to do that again today to switch the ones that just aren't getting it into another group. For a majority, everyone's getting it. I'm grading it ever the papers that they do at their seat, and it's all correct. And then I have the kids that they got everything wrong. There are a few kids that we're doing 10s and 1s, and so it's 23. How many 10s? And they'll put 20, and then they'll put 3. Which makes it 203. And so I'll have to go back to those 2 friends and I'll have to show them again. If you put 20 there, that means 200. And then everyone else seems to be doing okay. So I have lesson 3 tomorrow. I have sing along. I have a phonics test. We're going to write about penguins. We're going to reread our story for reading, which is fun with maps, and do a writing activity with it. And then we'll have a catch-up. So I put catch-up and the little catch-up picture, and then mayonnaise as may do. And so if they have their things done from the week that I have marked down, they'll get to do Epic, Lexia, or ST Math. If they do not, they're going to spend that time doing their work. And so I'm going to give them about 15, 20 minutes to do that. So that way I have them doing something during the week, having them hold on to their centers they didn't finish. Everything's supposed to be inside their mailbox. And so we'll see if they kept everything, because if not, I'm marking down everything they turn in. So if they come with me with nothing, it's going to be like, well, where's your stuff? I guess you're doing it all over again. So we'll see tomorrow. It's Friday. Let's start our day. Sad story. Get your tissues ready. Thank you for joining me. I went to go get coffee for my friends, the 6 of us. We separated, take turns getting coffee for each other on Friday. I went to my coffee shop and it was closed. So we are starting the day, or at least I'm starting the day with no coffee. My friends, they have no coffee. It's sad. Please, moment of silence. Okay, it's Friday. Gotta go. Let's see. We have sing along right now, so we're gonna go to sing along. When we come back, we are doing lesson 3 in our what is the program called? Engage New York, or ZERN. I was a bad girl, and I printed the TE for just the module because we don't have the TEs. And yes, it's all online, but I was getting kind of, I just wanted it right in front of me and not have to keep scrolling and not my screen going out. So I printed, this is just the module. So hopefully the district I work in figures it out and I don't have to print the next module. So I'm gonna go make copies of this one because that's what we're doing today. Hello, I'm in my teaching corner. This is my small group area. Coffee showed up for me. Husband he had to go to 2 other stores. He had to go to 2 other ones and they were both closed. So then he had to go to a 3rd one and it was open. He was on a mission today to get me coffee, my sweet husband. So I don't know what's going on in my town for 3 stores to be under construction at the same time. And 2 of them were like really new. So I don't know what's up. But I have coffee, so I'm gonna drink this. This morning, I don't know. The kids are great. It has nothing to do with my kids. My kids are awesome. I had one sweet friend child that came back. He's been gone a week before vacation, and then he came back today. So he's been gone, we'll say 5 weeks. I haven't seen him. So happy to have him back, sweet boy. He came today, and I mean, it's been a great Friday the 13th. Ooh. It's been a great day. We went to music. That took a little bit longer. We came in, we started math, had recess, kept doing math. It's lunch. Okay, math's been taking all morning. I'm okay with it, we're changing it, but then I came into a problem. I'll talk about that right now. What else am I gonna do? We're gonna come in, we are going to do our read out loud, our interactive read out loud. We listen to it on YouTube on Mondays. Tuesdays, I read it, stopping and asking questions on Tuesdays. Mondays, we just listen to it. Tuesdays is usually my retell day, and so I go back and I ask the questions that go with each page. Wednesday is a picture walk, so they partner up and they retell the story to each other, and I stop on the pages for the lesson. And Thursday, I just read, and Friday, I just read the pages that are on the lesson. I reread those pages, ask the question, and then that's how we work our interactive read out loud. There's really no activity on Mondays. Tuesdays is retell, and then I usually do author's message, problem solution, and then something else that's in there. So this week was character changes and then problem solution, or a cause and effect. That's what I did this week. So we're gonna do this. We're going to do our page, talks about the author's message, what the lesson that he learned, right? The lesson that Sour Grape learned. We have this to try to help us. So we'll go over this and we'll see if we can find what the author's message is, the lesson he was supposed to learn, which is the 1st grade standard. So that's our interactive read out loud. We are going to do, I was gonna say fun with maps. I don't know, fun with maps. Not a very engaging story, but we're gonna read, and then this is our writing prompt for the week, or for this story. So we're gonna do this in our journal, the journal that has no places to draw. So we're going to do that. And as we read Fun with Maps, we're going to fill out our main idea and details. So we're going to do these 2 things with our reading. As testing today, I have our phonics test. So it says spelling test, but I just call it a phonics test. And so I'm gonna give them 6 words that go over our digraphs. We went over all the digraphs. We went over 6, so we'll probably have, actually, KN we really didn't go over. I said it, I mentioned it, but we didn't go over it much. So I have 5, and so I'm gonna give them 6 words. Each word will have a digraph in it. And then, if I call this testing, I'm gonna see how they're doing on their plurals. We did irregular plurals. There are the irregular plurals there. They just have to fill in the blank. And then we did ES. And so the words that needed ES to be made plural. That's what we're going to do for testing this week. Extra words, which goes over the words. I'm gonna write these words on flashcards, and I'm just gonna test those kids really fast, or some kids really fast that I know don't know them or didn't know them. And then we are going to do our expository writing on penguins, and we'll draw a penguin as well. So that's what I have planned for the rest of the day. Our morning's kind of weird. Our morning is short recess, short lunch, and then we have a big chunk at the end. So that's how first grade's day goes. We do have a 10-minute recess towards the end of the day, like the last hour. So all that should be the rest of the day. My weirdness. We started Zern before vacation. I guess half the district had the meeting. Half the district was told the kids need to do Zern in the classroom every day. If you want to teach Engage New York Zern, you can. If you just want to stick with my math, you can. That was our directives. Yesterday they had another meeting. I guess it was for the other half of the school district. According to my neighbor across the hallway, they told them the kids only have to do Zern 3 times a week and it could be homework. That's a total different directive that they told us. So I was changing my whole curriculum. I was going to do my Zern. I was going to do Engage New York. But if they're telling them you can just assign it for homework and have the kids do it at home for homework, why am I going to change my whole curriculum? I changed all this week. I made all these copies, so I don't know. I have questions. And why are they telling one group one thing and one group the other? Half the district one thing and half the district another thing. I don't know. I have questions. I'm going to figure it out. I was going to change homework to match. I changed my whole room because that was the directive they told us. So I'm going to go talk to my friends right now and see what they've heard. I'm going to see if I can find more teachers that were in yesterday's professional development and see what they understood, because this is a lot of work, a lot of change. And if I can finish the year the way I was doing it, it would be a lot easier. We'll see. I'm going to go with my friends. I'm going to go eat some lunch. I'm going to go chit chat, and I'll see you after school. It's after school. We started our penguin writing. So we only got 2 sentences in. Penguins are birds. They live in Antarctica and on warm islands. We used our graphic organizers. We just went here and I said, okay, what sentence can we write for that? What sentence can we write for this? And then on Tuesday, because we have Monday off, we will write our 3 other sentences, maybe 3, maybe we'll make it more. So that's going to be carried over. It is Friday, so I'm going to do 30-minute planning for next week. I'm going to set my timer for 30 minutes. I'm going to open up my chocolates that I found. I left some here from Christmas, so I'm going to eat some chocolates. I have my bubbly water, my standards that are going to be covered in next week, and then I have my folder that I had from last year. I'm going to go through it. I'm going to put things in order. So next week is verbs. So I see a lot of verb stuff in here. I'm going to go through this, clear out the things that I don't think I want, look at the things that I had from last year that I made copies and didn't do, and then see if there's anything else I need to do. So I have my same week at a glance that I used last week. Worked great. I'm just writing it down so that way I can see and not have to go through my slides. And I'm going to do this for a little bit, and then I'll start planning and let you know what I'm going to do for next week and get my copies and things that I want to make copies for in order. But I'm going to do it for 30 minutes. That's all I'm going to give myself. It's already 3:15, so I've already been here for a half an hour. After school, what have I been doing? I don't know, but eat chocolate, drink water, clean up, and start looking for next week. That's my plan. My chicken person and I are going home. I have it looks kind of blank, but my lessons written down for the week. Lessons, I didn't put what they were for math, but I'm going to do lesson 4, 5, 6, and 7. I am going to write in that we're starting Zern on this day, the computer part. So I'm going to add that in. For our retell, we're going to do the loudest nap, which is about hibernation. So it fits in with winter, and it's about a turtle that hibernates and what he misses when he hibernates. And so we're going to do our retell, problem solution, lesson from it, and then how a character changes or describing the character. All our first grade standards. For our 3 Ps, our phonics, phonemic awareness, and poem, we are going to do for phonemic awareness, we're going to identify, do addition, substitution of sounds, addition of sounds, and then blending. We are working on long A this week with A and then the magic E, bossy E, mommy E, whatever you want to call it. And so we're going to do some sorting, blending, writing, and then reading, of course. Our poem this week, I don't have it written down. I'm gonna have to go look. Actually, I'll look on my computer right in my iPad. And it's always the same. First day is capitals and punctuation. We find high frequency words. We are looking for nouns and verbs. On Friday, I'll give them the poem and we'll do verbs and we'll do our fluency. So our fluency is I just give it to them and it's on a half piece of paper. They glue it into their poem folder and then they spend time reading all their poems. This week we're doing Unit 3, Week 1. So we're doing Nate the Snake. And so we have beginning, middle, end. That is what it's going over. So plot. So for that story and My Way to School. So we're going to do beginning, middle, and plot with those two stories. And then we are going to work on our penguins and then talk about or finish our penguin paragraph. And then we'll talk about Martin Luther King. On Monday, all I'm going to do is this is from The Teaching Mama, and I'm going to read a story, and then we're just going to put a timeline of his life for Martin Luther King. So that's what I'm going to do on Monday. I think I'm just going to do like one little activity, read a story for Martin Luther King, and then do an activity that goes with it. And so I have one from Teaching from the Core. And it talks about character traits for Martin Luther King. And we've been going over describing characters, so I think that would be good. And I also have one that talks about just being kind. And this is a K Teacher Life. And it has a sort of kind words and unkind words. And so I think that's what I'm going to focus on is just being kind to one another. Then I have this that I usually do. This one's from Teacher to the Core, and it's where you get the brown egg and then the white egg, and you ask, what it's going to look like on the inside, and it's the same. And so that just brings awareness to, even though on the outside we look different, the inside we are the same, but eggs are too expensive. So I am not going to do this year. I think what I'll do is just together, I'll make a chart out of this and we'll talk about who he was, what he had, and what he wanted. So those are 4 activities. We'll see if I get them next week, but for sure I'm going to read a story on Monday or Tuesday and then do the activity. Something new I'm going to do next week besides Zern is I'm going to do a fluency, and so it's just a little fluency. The kids have the big one that they'll read from. This is what I'm going to send home. Winter, the students need to read in first grade 23 words a minute, so I'm going to start testing them weekly, doing a few a day, and then just sending it home and letting parents know that they will have that. Monday morning, what do I have to make? I'm going to have to make a chart for our verbs, and so I'm going to make a chart for verbs, and I need to find a sort for short vowel, short A, long A. That's how I'm going to work our phonics on Monday. Or Tuesday is sorting out which one has the short A sound and which one has the long A sound. And so that's what I have to do Monday. I guess my copies I need to make, they're all right here. So I have them in order of Monday, or Tuesday, this is what I need. Wednesday, this is what I need. So that way when I come in, I can just do it. If I was smart, I would go and do it all right now. It's past my 30 minutes, so I'm gonna go home. It's Friday, 3-day weekend. I have this all here for me. This weekend, what do I have to do? I'll set aside some time on Monday and I will move around my slides. I will, what else do I need to do? I think that's it. Just move around my slides for the week and look for the sort. So that's what I'm gonna do this weekend. Not very much. And then I think I'll rethink math one more time before I set in my ways. But right now, 4 groups, 15 minutes each. Maybe I'll just move to 3. I don't know. I like having them here on my little table. So if I do 4 groups, they fit here. If I do 3, they're not going to fit here. And we have to go to the carpet. I don't have much, I can't touch them when they're at the carpet. But I think 3 groups might be better. I don't know. I'll rethink life. It's Friday. I'm going home. 3-day weekend. I'm going home. You go home too. I'll see you next time.